Hey, if you're a dog owner in Moorpark, you are in exactly the right place. We're going to walk through how to find a fantastic local trainer who can really help you and your dog live your best lives together. Just picture it, a nice, calm walk down High Street, maybe a relaxing afternoon at a local park, and there's no pulling on the leash, no lunging, no barking. That's the dream, right? Well, the right training is exactly how you make that a reality. Okay, so why is it such a big deal to train specifically for life in Moorpark? Well, because every town has its own vibe, its own unique situations, and our dogs need to be ready for all of it. And this is a perfect example of what I mean. One minute, you could be on a peaceful, quiet suburban street, and the next, you're navigating other dogs, kids, and cyclists at a busy spot like Arroyo Vista Community Park. You see, good training goes way beyond sit and stay. It's about giving your dog the confidence to handle these real-world curveballs without getting stressed out. So before you even think about Googling a trainer, there's a really important first step. You need to get super clear on what you and your dog actually need. Let's figure out what that looks like. So what's the main goal here? If you're tackling some tougher issues like reactivity or fear, then you're looking for what's called behavior modification. But if you just want a wonderful, well-behaved companion for everyday life, that's what we'd call family dog training. Just knowing which bucket you fall into helps narrow down your search right away. And then, how do you want this training to happen? Group classes are fantastic for getting your dog around other dogs and learning general manners. But if your dog's main issue is, say, barking like crazy at the front door, well, in-home training is perfect because the trainer comes right to you to solve the problem where it actually happens. Private lessons give you that one-on-one focus, and a board and train is a much more intensive, deep dive kind of option. Okay, let's really zero in. What's the number one thing you want to fix? Is it the constant leash pulling that's making walks a total drag? Or maybe it's separation anxiety that's the big challenge. When you can name your top one or two priorities, a potential trainer will know from the very first conversation exactly how they can help you. All right, now that you know what you need, it's time to actually start looking. But how do you tell the difference between a great trainer and just another trainer? Let's talk about the key things to look for in a real pro. If there is one thing to look for, it's this: a trainer who uses positive reinforcement. This is the modern, science-backed way to train. It makes learning fun for your dog. So instead of using scary or intimidating tactics, it's all about rewarding the behaviors you want to see. This approach builds a really strong bond of trust, and honestly, it gets results that actually stick. Now, I know this can look like a bunch of alphabet soup, but trust me, these letters are your friend. They're a shortcut to knowing a trainer's level of expertise. For example, something like CPDTKA tells you the trainer has a solid, certified knowledge base. But if you're dealing with more complex stuff like serious fear or reactivity, a credential like CBCCKA signals that they have a much deeper, specialized understanding of animal behavior. So, you found a couple of trainers who look really good on their websites. What's next? Is the consultation. This is your chance to chat with them, kind of interview them, and make sure they're the absolute right fit for you and your dog. But before you pick up the phone, it's always a good idea to have a budget in mind. This table gives you a pretty solid ballpark idea of the average costs for different training services right here in the Moorpark area. As you can see, group classes tend to be the most wallet-friendly option, while the really intensive programs like a board and train are a much bigger investment. Definitely keep these questions handy when you talk to a trainer. You want to hear them talking about positive, rewards-based methods. Ask them how they're going to create a plan that's just for your dog, not some cookie-cutter approach. And how will you know it's working? A great trainer isn't just a trainer for your dog. They're a coach for you, too. Okay, so once you start training, the work doesn't stop when the session is over. The real progress, the real magic, happens when you take all those new skills and practice them out in the real world. And here are some fantastic local spots to do just that. The fenced-in dog park over at Arroyo Vista, that's perfect for safely practicing recall without any worries. The paths at Griffin Park are great for working on that loose leash walking around joggers and families. And if you're ready for a bigger challenge, the trails at Happy Camp Canyon are amazing for building your dog's focus with all sorts of new sights and smells. At the end of the day, this whole process is about so much more than just having an obedient dog. It's about building a partnership, a relationship that lets you confidently include your dog in every part of your life here in Moorpark. Whether that's a trip to the park, a walk downtown, or just having friends over. We wish you the best of luck on your training journey.